the introductory aspect of this, what makes a very good story. Yeah, thank you very much. So we'll be looking at what makes a very good film story. And in as long as you understand this aspect of this, you understand what, when you pick a script, because part of your duty as a director, depending, is in choosing the script. Many film directors are hired to actually direct a film, but when they see the script, they read. After reading, they ask the producer or whoever contracted them, can we make adjustments in this story? They may even decide to say, okay, this film story doesn't have what it takes to drive a film. Would you like to reconsider another story that you want to use? Do not make film, do not direct content because you feel, I just want to be called a director. Don't direct because you feel, I just want to have myself doing something. Because we say, Braideye knows that you are as good as your last job. You direct a bad story, it doesn't come out fine. They will not ask who wrote this script. They will say, who directed this work? Because they believe that as long as you're a director, you should have known that this script is a poor script. Do you understand me? So we are taking it gradually, one after the other. Your function as a director, you are choosing a script. You are choosing that script that has the qualities of a good story. And we are looking at the questions that you will be asking. Does this story move? Is it moving? Is it progressive? You are asking a question. As you pick the script, is this story progressive? All right? What is the originality content of this story? What is the theme, the thematic import of this story? Those are questions you are asking yourself as a director when you pick a script. Then you ask yourself, how many of us are graduates and undergraduates here in school? You must have written your thesis, right? If you have written your thesis, I know your lecturers may have told you in your statement of the problem that your statement of the problem is weak. All right? They may tell you to recast. So some may tell you that the problem is not problem enough. So in filmmaking, there is something that drives a story, and that is conflict. So you as a director will understand if that conflict in the film story is conflict enough. As long as this conflict is not strong, it can never make a good story. You can have a bad script, and with your understanding of what makes a good script, you tell the producer, we can actually work on this stuff. There is a work I just suspended. Okay, I know that it had some eulogy around it on the present governor of Cross River State. But when it came to me, the person wanted it to go fast. But the director, can we just do it? I have a target, and I understand the target. The target is make something fall. You understand? I so understand it. I respect the lady. She has influence, but I read it and I just told her, I said, man, this is actually not moving like a story. You will just see your audience, if they see, they will tell you this is praise singing. You sang praises from the beginning to the end and there is nothing in it. She said, so how can we make it come out? I said, if you want us to make it come out, you will strike the praise singing about, if it is 100%, you reduce it by 80. Knock off 80. She said, okay. And the only thing I am asking her to leave in the story is one phrase. And that phrase, we are not even using it now the way the government is using it. It is after the film you say, oh, this is actually what they are talking about, the governor in relation to the story. Do you understand? So, and then again, you are saying, this script, can we rework it? If you cannot rework it, can you give it back to the writer? You may not be a writer, fine, but you as a director, you need to understand what a good story is. You don't necessarily need to be a writer. You can tell the person, let me speak with the writer. Can the writer recast a couple of narratives here, push this out, bring this in, and push this around for you to actually have what you wish to achieve? So, you need to understand that aspect. Is that conflict? Conflict is, let's imagine the conflict as your spine. If it breaks, you crumble, you cannot stand. So that is just it in a film story. Conflict actually drives the entire film. Conflict is what sustains the film. It brings the action. It brings the engagement. It leads to the confrontation. It leads to the rising action. It leads to the climax. It leads to the fallen action, which you may call denouement. All right? So conflict drives the story. When you look at that, I'm telling you, is this story moving? Does it have conflict? What is the message of this film? Okay, the thematic import. All right? But then before I forget this, just call this and we say, many times, many people look out for different things in film. But as a film director, as a creative, as a content director, as a whatever aspect, as a theater director, whatever extraction you find yourself, you need to understand one thing, that in filmmaking, professionals will always tell you, pay attention to the story first. I'll bet you theater arts departments, they are doing a very wonderful job now. If you get to the theater, I think at about 14th or thereabout, they are doing their film fiesta. Students are exhibiting film. If you sit in that hall, you will see wonderful projects that they have done. But one thing I will bet will happen is you will see some special effects, you will see visual effects, you will see a whole lot of things, maybe scary stuff, and those are the moments that will actually stir the audience. All right? Student filmmakers love things that will just wow the audience. But then in professional filmmaking, we tell you, in as much as you want to wow the audience, pay attention to the story first. Every mature filmmaker, every leading filmmaker, call them anywhere in the world, from Tyler Perry to anybody you can mention, to down here, Nee Akimolayo, and a whole lot of them. We just pay attention to the story first. The story, the message. Because the story carries the message. We say, and I usually say, seek ye first the story or in the film script, and every other thing shall be added unto you. We'll get to know what is every other thing in that work. So we are still talking about story, knowing the story, knowing what a good script is, yeah? Now, there is what we call Fretax's triangle, all right? It's normally plot structure. And a film story moves in a pyramid, just like a triangle. This may not be very perfect, all right? It moves in a pyramid, all right? Just here, here, and here, that way. And a film story has 3 points: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we say, while you're making film, you need to understand these very points in your film story. The beginning, the middle, and the end. You do not play with them at all. And this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. The story starts from here, which we call the preliminary stage, or the exposition if you like. As you're looking at it, this is the exposition. This level here is the exposition. At this point, we are trying to, in your film story, you are trying to understand these characters, the characters that they have created in this story. All right? You are trying to understand the characters that they have created in the story. At this point, we usually will add an arrow here facing up, and we add another one here downward facing down. From here, you have the rising action. Rising action. Sorry, you may not actually see. From this moment, the action will be rising in your film story, be it a short film or a feature film. As it is rising, somewhere about here, you start having a crisis and confrontation. That means the positive character will actually be looking at something. There is a picture I will pull out very soon if this is on. There is, please confirm if something is on for me here. Please just a moment. Awesome.